So, one of the things you have to understand as a software development engineer is that you are going to have a human brain because you are human. No matter how much software we write, no matter how much AI we interact with or work on, the fact remains you are human and therefore you have to consider your own human limits. Take care of yourself. As part of that, don't always work on the same type of projects. You wouldn't just normally only do one type of rep when you exercise. So keep in mind that your priority is also to make sure that you have flexibility with your skills. If you work primarily with APIs, make sure you can also do a minimum bit of graphical stuff. Today, instead of working on Python, Django, or .NET, or any of the other stuff that I would normally work on for fun that is more web-based and more around APIs and scaling and distributed systems and cryptography and things like that, I've just decided to start a random Bevy project in Rust. And I have no idea where it's going to go, but it's there in case I need it. And that's the important thing. Now I'm starting it off the right way. I'm getting everything done in cargo. I've already done Rust up. It's already been updated. I'm currently compiling a very small shim that should just display a small square on the screen when it's done. But this is how it gets started. You start with small beginnings and then eventually just figure out where it's going to go. Now, you may notice that I've already named this project, and this is actually a continuation of a different project that I am going to try and see if it will work with Bevy or not. And if it does, then great. I will have some fun. But here's the cool thing about this. It's an experiment. It could go nowhere. I could end up deleting this GitHub repo tomorrow. And that's fine. All I'm really doing is taking the day and making sure that I rest my brain on everything else on my screen. Because you might notice that I've got a lot of things loaded. And I've got a lot of Visual Studio stuff loaded because I've got a lot of projects. The last few days, I've been writing more Go and Python, also a little .NET, but I want to start with Rust. I want to do more Rust. I did Rust earlier in the year, and I want to go back to it. So I've decided that out of the interest of, just having fun, I'm going to start a small Bevy project. And because I own GameDev.com, I feel like I'm allowed to. So if there is something that you like with Bevy, let me know. If there's a feature of that you think I should be aware of, tell me, comment, say so. It's just for fun. And it's important that you consider that when you do your own projects. You're going to want to have your own projects. That's great. And you're probably, if you do a lot of web APIs and things and Django and all that fun stuff, you might even have your own versions of that. But keep in mind that it's critically important that you give your brain a rest. If you're doing web APIs all the time, you're going to get burned out. If you do the same thing all the time, you're going to get burned out. It's important to switch contexts sometimes. And yes, that can be an expensive operation, but it's Saturday and I don't care, so it's fine. Just take care of yourself and make sure that you give your brain a rest. And most importantly, that when you're working on different projects, that you have the flexibility to understand that, you know what, these experiments, they're okay if they fail. That's just science. You might learn something either way. So don't be too hard on yourself.